A man steals. He gets caught. He goes to prison. Case closed. That's justice. Or at least, that's what we call it. When someone commits a crime, what do we actually want? Justice or punishment? Because the way we respond looks a lot more like punishment. The system we have today is built around one thing: incarceration. If you do something wrong, you're removed from society, put in a cell, kept there. Time passes, then you're released. And that's supposed to be justice. What does that actually fix? The harm is already done. The person affected doesn't get that undone. And the person who committed the act, what exactly changes for them? Often they come out more isolated than before, more cut off, and then we act surprised when they end up back in the same place again. There's something else happening. When we see a crime, there's an immediate reaction. Someone should pay for this. That reaction feels right. But that feeling has more to do with revenge than justice. We want balance restored, and we try to do that by causing more harm. And then there's the person who committed the crime. We treat them like they appeared out of nowhere, like this decision exists on its own. But people don't come from nothing. Things build, slowly, over time. Most offenses don't look like what you see in headlines. They look ordinary. A man in a shop at the wrong moment, a decision made under pressure, something a person probably wouldn't choose if things were different. Imagine someone born into a situation they didn't choose. Limited options, no safety net. At some point, something shifts. Work stops. Help doesn't come. There are people around him who built their lives on the same labor he or his family gave, but they don't step in. He still has responsibilities. People depend on him. And eventually, he takes something that isn't his. That's the moment we focus on. That's where the system steps in, and everything before that disappears, like it never mattered. That doesn't excuse what he did, but it changes how you look at it. The system looks at the act. What led up to it stays outside the frame. The structures around him, the people who benefited from his situation and looked away, none of that is part of the judgment. Only he is. The law stays narrow, and outside that frame, everything that made the moment possible doesn't count. Punish him, remove him, move on. If the goal is to reduce crime, this approach doesn't do much. It doesn't deal with why it happened. It reacts to what has already happened. Some places treat prison as preparation for return, not just removal. And when you look at the outcomes, around 20% of people reoffend after release. In systems built around punishment alone, that number climbs closer to 70%. That gap isn't small. So the question becomes, what exactly are we trying to achieve? Maybe justice isn't about locking people away and calling it resolved. Maybe it has more to do with what happens after, whether anything actually changes, whether the same situation is less likely to happen again. Because if nothing changes, what we're calling justice is just punishment that makes us feel better for a while. So here's the question worth sitting with. What would it look like if the system were actually designed to stop this from happening again, not just to respond to it? If that question stays with you, there's more to explore here. And I'd genuinely like to know, what do you think justice should actually do? Thanks for watching.